This is a unit on converting units. The base units that we talked about before, like meter, if you want to use bigger numbers or smaller numbers, if you mention something large, you just don't want meters. If you mention something smaller, you want something smaller. So they have prefixes. So meters, smaller than meters is decimeter, centimeter, millimeter. There are others. 3 more spots down gives you micrometer. And another 3 spots down gives you a nanometer. Occasionally, not in this course, but in chemistry you'll see that. Rarely you see that. We're going to concern ourselves with these 3, deci, centi, milli. Larger than a meter, the next 2 we generally don't use very much, so I'm just going to draw that. This is deca and hecta. Kilo we do use, like kilometer. Some places they'll use those. I tend to ignore them, don't worry about them. There's the King Henry mnemonic device that you can use. Whatever you can do to remember it. We're just going to concern ourselves with kilo, the base, something, the base, meter, liter, second, any of the base units that we did from the other day. You can also use derived units like watts or, of course, Newton, deci, centi, and milli. Those are the ones that we are going to be concerned about, from kilo to milli, ignoring the 2 larger than that. So, how do you do this? Well, if you have 14.3 centimeters, and you want to change that to millimeters, you start at centi and you go 1 spot to the right to get to milli. So you move the decimal point 1 spot to the right, so you get 143 millimeters. If you have 14.3 centimeters, and you want to find out how many meters that is, from centi, 1, 2, to get to the base, so that would be 1, 2 to the left. I usually like putting zeros in front of it as an indicator of where that is. It doesn't have to be just meters. Like I said, you can do energy, which would be joules. So if you have 0.2 kilojoules, how many joules is that? Kilo to the base, 1, 2, 3 to the right. So move the decimal point over 1, 2, 3, adding zeros, 200 joules. And that's how you use the number line to convert units if you're having prefixes. So if you want to convert units using prefixes, the number line is probably the easiest way to do it. That's method A, or option 1. Another option, and this is generally more useful because you can use it on many different conversions. We're going to start with these and use the other ones. Let's say we started with 14.3 centimeters. Well, multiply by a fraction, and you know from algebra, if you multiply by a 1, you don't change anything. This is how you get a common denominator. So what you want to do is to get rid of the centimeter. To get rid of something, put the centimeter here. If you have x on the top and x on the bottom, those 2 would cancel. And if you want to change it to millimeters, write the label millimeters down. Then you ask yourself, What's bigger, 1 centimeter or 1 millimeter? The answer is centimeter. And how many millimeters is in a centimeter? Well, if you move it over one spot, that's the power of 10, so it's 10 millimeters. The centimeters cancel. If it's on top, you multiply, so you get 143 millimeters. The same answer as we had up here. Just a different method. Choose whichever method you like to do, especially on this conversions. Let's go over to this problem. 14.3 centimeters, and I want to change it to meters. So centimeters is going to be on the bottom, and meters, what you're trying to find, goes on top. What's bigger, 1 meter or 1 centimeter? 1 meter. And if you go over 2 spots, that's 100, because there's 2 zeros. The centimeters again cancel. In this case, if it's in the denominator, you divide. So you take 14.3 divided by 100, and you get 0.143 meters. Same answer again. Different ways of doing it. It's all pretty good. The thing about this dimensional analysis is that you can use it to change many, many, many different things, not just prefixes. And now, this is dimensional analysis. So, let's say we have so many inches. Let's say you have 60 inches. You want to change that to feet. Well, same deal. Inches goes on the bottom. Feet goes on top. What's bigger, 1 foot or 1 inch? 1 foot. That means that 12 inches is going to go on the bottom because that's the conversion factor. Notice 1 foot and 12 inches are the same, so you're multiplying by 1, you're not changing the value. Inches conveniently cancel out. So you take 60 divided by 12, and you get 5 feet. You can do this with time. If you have 10 hours, I want to change that to minutes. Get rid of the hour and change it to minutes. 1 hour is bigger, so it's 1 hour is 60 minutes. The hours cancel, and you have 10 times 60 or 600 minutes. But if you wanted seconds, what you can do is you can keep going. You have minutes, you want to get rid of minutes. And you have seconds. 1 minute, 60 seconds. So you can do a chain reaction. You can take 10 times 60 times 60. 60 times 60 is 3,600. So it's 36,000 seconds. You can do combinations of things where you can multiply and divide. Let me think of one here. Sometimes they give you set measurements. So let's say you have 25.4 centimeters. I want to change that to feet. Well, you got to get rid of the centimeters, and there's a conversion factor. Anytime you have something like 1 inch equals 2.54 centimeters, you can make that's your conversion factor, that's equivalence. So you can take and divide those, either 1 inch on top or the 2.54 centimeters on the top, whichever one you want to try to find out. We have centimeters, so we get rid of centimeters. We have inches. Now this is the one case where you don't say what's bigger or what's smaller. You just use the ratio. 1 inch is 2.54 centimeters. get rid of the centimeters. You have inches. And get rid of inches and change it to feet because that's what we originally were looking for. 1 foot is 12 inches. In this case, you take 25.4 divided by 2.54 divided by 12. You need to keep going on your calculator. Enter in your calculator 2.54 times, or divide by, because in the denominator you divide 2.54 divided by 12. Don't do times because it's on the bottom. If you do times, your order of operations will tell you that 12 is on top. If it's in the denominator, you push divided by in front of your calculator. If it's in the denominator, push divided by, because that's on your calculator. Sometimes you can have some on top and bottom, so in that case you would multiply on top and divide on the bottom. And that's lesson on conversions.